Hello, we're at the 58th International Congress of Les Clefs Concierge, where over 600 of the top concierges in the world from 42 different countries have gathered in Toronto, Canada. Our keynote address was with Isadore Sharp, founder and chairman of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts. Welcome. Thank you. In your comments today, you were talking about some of the innovations that Four Seasons pioneered. What were some of those innovations, and what do you see as some of the innovations today?
Well, the innovations we talk about are not blockbuster events. They're small incidental things that you find people, if any of us sat down and said, when people are traveling, what would they find to be useful? And that's simply how we became to all of these things. So, the idea of, at one time, creating non-smoking floors. Well, at that time, everybody smoked, and nobody said, please don't. So we decided we would try it and see whether people would respond to a simple little item. Well, today, if you think about the advent of what's happening with smoking, so the ideas should be practical, and I would always think that if people ask us, why do you do that? If we don't have a good answer, maybe we shouldn't do it. So the list of things goes on in terms of having a overnight pressing and dry cleaning. Because people arrive, they might not have the time for an early morning meeting. 24-hour room service. It's not that everybody uses it a lot, but it's only when you need it, and it's more comfortable to have something brought to your room. Kids for all seasons, a place where people are traveling with their family, or they would want to travel with their family, and we would look after their children during the course of the day so they could truly have a nice vacation.
And now it's everywhere.
Yes, but that's good. I think the fact that the ideas that we initiated are adopted by the industry is better for it, and therefore we all benefit. But the one aspect of what we have put in place is that which cannot be copied, and that is the consistent quality of service.
And how has Four Seasons been able, your brand is consistently known for that. How have you been able to be consistent?
Well, it's something we set out many, many years ago. As we put up what was going to be our objectives as a company. We decided we'd only operate medium-sized hotels of exceptional quality, and we're going to try to be the best. Well, best at what? How can you, in the industry, distinguish yourself? So we decided that we'd make the quality of our service a competitive advantage. That would be what would distinguish us. And in order to do that, you had to give the people who would deliver that product the tools, which was simply giving them a work environment that they could aspire to do their best. And that's where the concept of the Golden Rule became part of the company's mission statement.
And that's your corporate culture today.
And that's what's allowed us. And a culture can't be mandated like a policy. It's something that has to grow from within over a long period of time by the consistent attitude and actions of the senior people. So that's why I say that's not something that can easily be
You can't just go out and purchase it. You can't dictate it. You can't make a guideline or policy.
And you can't all of a sudden tell your people, we are now going to be new and different.
Right.
Service. So that's really, if you put all the other things together, that is still what the customer prefers. Research to this day always puts that on a list by itself. Personal service is still what people have.
And speaking of personal service, the concierge, the word concierge is now synonymous with service. Where does the concierge, especially the Les Clefs concierge, fit in your guest experience management strategy today?
It's almost like, people expect certain things. Well, that's what people, so they don't say, do you have a concierge? They know there's going to be a concierge, just like they know we're going to have color TV or all the new advents that move in. So For Four Seasons, the concierge is an integral part of giving the customer an experience that they will consider to be of value, because that's where they gravitate to. We have concierge in some of our hotels that people who live in the city will come into the hotel and ask for some help, and we're pleased to do it.
Your brand is known for providing that service, whether you're a guest in that hotel or not. How do you connect guest service, guest loyalty to revenue and to profitability?
Well, we're in business, and in order to stay in business, you must make a reasonable profit. So it's all based upon, what's the price of your product? Can you afford to offer certain, standards that become part of your economics? And that's why we mentioned before about some of the things we might have as opportunities for customers. There has to be a value connected to it. For us, service is at the top of our list. So we will never compromise on what the customer comes to expect. And we're fortunate that people will recognize that that is what they want, and therefore they pay a reasonable price for the whole product. So it's not something you can do without regards to the economics.
And it's a key part of the economics. And I think today's guest and today's customer is demanding it. They're not only expecting it, they're demanding it.
Especially for us,
They're going to choose to either go with you or they're going to go elsewhere. What's going to make them come to you?
Yeah, and to us it's a necessity in terms of giving the customer what they expect. The same way, the customer probably never meets the engineer, but we need an engineer to make sure the boilers and air conditioning and things are going to work.
Right.
Well, in order to make our service component work, we need the concierge. So to us, it's an integral part of the mechanism.
And you've been doing this for a long time. Four Seasons has done so many things around the world. What do you see as any emerging trends in hospitality, any differences in the way the brand will either develop new properties, integrate new things? What do you see as some of the exciting things on the horizon?
Well, again, I don't see major events happening, but the industry is a solid growth industry. And you have to then consider, the Y generation coming into the major group of people who will be spending the money. They're much bigger than, the baby boomers. So you have to make sure you're adapting to their needs. My grandkids, what they think and what they need, very different than perhaps what I wanted. So,
are they part of your focus groups? Your grandkids?
That's absolutely right. But you know what? They all come back to the standards. They all want that personal connection. Everybody, I don't care who it is, likes recognition and to be dealt with at a personal level. That's never going to change. And I think to the degree we can make sure people understand, don't lose sight of the priorities of the customer base. Service will always rank high, whether it's a budget hotel or a five-star hotel. Individuals all want to be treated with some degree of special respect. And that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. Well, thank you for continuing to be an inspiration, for that caring, for that respect. Thank you for the brands, standards that serve as a role model of excellence for all of us. And thank you for being with us. Isadore Sharp, founder and chairman of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts.
Thank you, Roberta.
Very much.
Thank you.